What's up, everybody? Don't forget to subscribe to the Worlds TV YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of this great content moving forward. What's up, y'all? Back again with another video. I apologize if you guys hear my fan in the background. It is hella hot. It is like 85 degrees out today in New York. I'm sweating my bullets off. But you know what? We got to make this video. So again, I apologize if you guys hear the fan. But I haven't made a couple videos. I haven't made a video, in a while. I've been working on some things behind the scenes. And this has been kind of quiet in the NBA. I mean, we still don't know where DeAndre Ayton is going. KD still wants out of Brooklyn. Kyrie's trying to force his way to the Lakers. The Lakers are trying to kick Russell Westbrook off the team. So there's been a lot of things going on. But since I last made the video, KD requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. He wants to go to either the Phoenix Suns or the Miami Heat. How ironic, they were the last two number one seeded teams in the respective conferences, and KD all of a sudden wants to go to them. The man just likes to go to the number one seeded team so we get the easiest path to a championship and play with other superstars. But nonetheless, KD say he wants out. Now I'm two-sided on this, and here's why. NBA players are allowed to do what's best interest for them, because we all know, that NBA owners and general managers do what's in the best interest for them and the team. And a lot of people I've seen on these sports shows already creating narratives saying, well, KD wants an easy way out, which is partially true. We've seen, especially the teams that he listed. KD wants an easy way out. Oh, he's not living up to his contract. He just signed a 4-year deal. What is it, $95 million extension with the Nets? And all of a sudden he wants out a year, not even a year into his new extension. He's not living up to his contract, blah, 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 all this and that. Oh, the owners need to take back the power from the players. This is unacceptable. Breach of contract, all this other nonsense. And I'm saying, I'm like, you guys have a point, but you don't have the full point. You could be right, but not completely right. And here's the thing why. How many times have we seen owners, general managers trade players after signing them to contract extension? It happens all the time. But yet none of that stuff is said or argumented in a debate show or on a topic. General managers trade players all the time after they sign them to an extension. We've seen it happen with Patrick Beverley this offseason. He got traded for Rudy Gobert after Patrick Beverley signed a 1-year, $13 million extension with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And their thank you for him helping them make the playoffs. Hey, we're shipping you off to Utah. That's just one example. I could go plenty more, but that's just one example. So it's like, it's okay for these players to do that. It's not okay for these players to do that, but it's okay for these owners. Same thing, I believe Kevin Huerter, he just got traded off season. He signed a 4-year, $65 million contract extension with the Hawks. This offseason, they traded him to the Kings. Josh Richardson signed a 1-year, $12 million extension with the Boston Celtics. He got traded to the Spurs. John Collins signed a 5-year, $125 million extension with the Atlanta Hawks. Now, all of a sudden, you hear rumors and reports they're trying to trade him. What about Andre Drummond? When the Cavs told him, hey, we want you to sit out, we don't want you to play, we are trying to trade you. And that was okay. What about when John Wall was guaranteed $47 million from the extension he signed with the Washington Wizards? They traded him to the Rockets. The Rockets was like, listen, we want you to sit out. We're going to sit you out. We're still going to pay you, but we want to find another team for you to play. Ain't nobody was talking shit about that. That was all right for them to do because it's in the best interest of the team. And now people saying, well, damn, John Wall's making all that money, but he hasn't played one game. Are you guys this stupid, or you just like to push your own egotistical ass narrative? The Rockets told him to sit down. The Rockets were not trying to play John Wall. That's just a few examples that I had written down. And so when you have players signing contract extensions, teams giving their word, say, hey, listen, thank you so much for the service that you did to the organization. We're going to give you this extension. We're going to give you this money. We want to continue this partnership. And in a year or two into that partnership, they get rid of you. Nobody says a word about that. But they want to bitch, moan, complain when players will say, hey, well, you know what? I want to get myself up out of here. You guys do what's in the best interest for you. I'm doing what's in the best interest for me. What you guys have constructed in this locker room, this team environment, I ain't rocking with it. So I'm going to just take my bag and walk. KD is doing what's in the best interest of KD. Kevin Durant is a brand. All these players are brands. LeBron James just became a billionaire. You don't think he's a brand? He's got to look out for himself. Draymond Green said it on his podcast. Draymond Green Inc. He got to look out after himself. Kevin Durant, he's his own brand. Got his own podcast. Very, very business savvy in his investments. He's got to look after himself. So why is it that we complaining when Kevin Durant was like, well, you know what? I got to do what's in the best interest of me. But when owners do the same thing, it's applauded. When players do that, it's poo-pooed on. But nobody wants to talk about that. Now, I'm just talking on the side of a perspective from a business analogy. Now, if you're an owner, you're like, you know, I agree. Yes, KD, you signed a 4-year extension with the team. They are trying to build this championship roster around you. And you went out not even into your first year into your new extension because of a situation where mainly you approved of. You okayed the coach. You okayed the players coming in. You okayed the dynamics, the environment. You okayed James Harden getting traded here. You okayed them getting Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge, all that type of stuff. And now you want out. But it goes back to, well, KD's probably looking like, hold on. They're always asking me or getting my approval for these transactions. You guys are the general managers. You guys are in that position of power. Now, yeah, I would like to be consulted, but the decision should fall on your hands. Kevin Durant, since when did all of a sudden Kevin Durant become the general manager and owner of the team where he's in charge of making personnel decisions? That should be up to Sean Marks and Joe Tsai. You guys are at the front office. Why are you always running to these players getting the final approval when you guys are about to make a big transaction or signing or firing or hiring? That's what you guys are there for. You are the general manager and the owner. Make the final call. That's not the player's job. That's your job. Like, there's no clear voice. There's no leadership in that Nets organization. And right now it is a complete mess. It is a complete mess. You have 2 of your cornerstone franchise players wanting out. 2 of them. And the Nets put themselves in this position. Whether you agree or not with what Kyrie Irving did last year, and we've seen how all of a sudden the vaccine mandates are lifted and COVID has become a non-existent thing. Whether you agree with it or not, that's your personal choice. But I frankly don't give a damn. I support Kyrie, what he stands for, because look at where we're at right now. Nobody's talking about COVID. Nonetheless, whether you agree with what Kyrie Irving did or not, he was the reason why Kevin Durant is wearing a Brooklyn Nets uniform. He was the reason why you guys got number 7. All you had to do was to give him the max, whether you think he deserved it or not. Them not giving Kyrie Irving that max extension pissed off KD. It pissed him off. Because we all know, it's well documented how close Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are. And when they did not give Kyrie Irving that max that he wanted, KD said, all right, I'm done. After everything, KD said, all right, I'm done. So it's just bad management. And then you have the owner, Sean Marks, coming out and having a press conference. Like a couple weeks after they got eliminated, say, hey, well, we want players who are available. We want players who are committed, who put the team before themselves. You basically called that Kyrie Irving and didn't mention him by name. What kind of dumbass GM does that? It makes no sense. Why would you do such a thing? Now, granted, you was trying to make a message, but look where the message happened. Look what it cost you. Both your cornerstone star players won out. They won out. So that's just bad leadership and decision making on the front office. Now I'm going on the owner's perspective of things. I was on the player's perspective of things. Now I'm going to the owner's perspective of things. KD, Kyrie, we gave you everything that you asked for. We're building this team around you. Our team value has increased a little bit since you guys signed here because you guys are both big names. You guys wanted a coach. You guys wanted Steve Nash as a coach. We gave you Steve Nash. You wanted these players. We gave you these players. You wanted special treatment. We gave you the special treatment. We've given you everything that you asked for. And yet you have one playoff series win to show for it. Now, granted, the first year KD was hurt, Kyrie Irving got injured. That doesn't count. But in 2 years, they have one playoff series to show for the big three, really big two, because James Harden quit on that team. And you're thinking to yourself, like, hold on, we did all this we did for you. KD, we honored our word. We're giving you 4 years, $195 million guaranteed. All that money is yours. Joe Tsai says, take all of it. Hell, you should have got paid more. But Joe Tsai's like, I'm going to cut you this check over the next 4 years, fully guaranteed. And not even into a year into your extension, you went out. Like, we was building this team around you. And you going to leave us high and dry? With the whole Kyrie Irving situation. We went to you and said, hey, what you want us to do with this? You okay, Kyrie Irving not playing? Then you came back to say, hey, get Kyrie back in the game. Let's let him play road game. We acquiesced to your demand. You get unhappy about the situation that mainly you caused. And your response is that you want to leave us. And you know, listen, anytime you trade a superstar player like Kevin Durant's caliber, you will not ever get equal value for trading a franchise superstar caliber player. That's just not going to happen. You'll get nice pieces, you'll get future draft picks, all that type of stuff. But 9 times out of 10, you will not get back the level of a Kevin Durant. Now, granted, he's a little bit older. He's 34, coming off that Achilles, still playing at an extremely high level. Looks like he never injured his Achilles to begin with because he's just so damn good. But you're just like, damn, KD. Like, yo, I understand if it was like year 3 or year 4, you only had 1 or 2 years left in your extension and you won out. You know, you played it out. You didn't like it. All right, cool. You won out. We'll try to acquiesce to your trade demand. But you didn't even step a year into your extension. What? And this is, people can't even compare LeBron James to this, because guess what? When LeBron James never requested a trade, and every time LeBron James went to another team, it was in free agency after he honored his contract, after he lived up to his contract. They have the same thing. Listen, these owners, when the next collective bargaining agreement shows up, they are going to have evidence on top of evidence on top of evidence to try to enforce some new rule change. When, hey, if you are a star player, we're building the franchise around you, you can't leave after like 2-3 years once you sign an extension. Because James Harden wanted out of Houston. He forced his way out of Houston. Same thing with James Harden. He forced his way out of Brooklyn. Ben Simmons didn't play a lick for the Sixers. He forced his way out, but yet he still wants to collect $20 million for a game he did not play in the Philly uniform. Kyrie Irving, whatever you want to talk about that, he wasn't able to play because of the actually, you know what? I'm gonna take away Kyrie Irving because that was not by his choice. That was because of the New York City mandate. So squash that. But they got evidence. James Harden, Ben Simmons. Even when we'll talk about Kyrie taking his time off, not because of last year, because of the years before, the pre-pandemic, where he was taking 2 weeks off to go to families and stuff like that. They got evidence. They got evidence. They're gonna say, hey, listen, yeah, we gonna need a rule change. We can't keep signing these players to these long contract extensions with all this guaranteed millions of dollars, and then all of a sudden they went out a year in. When you're an owner, when you're a businessman, when you put a lot of money in an investment, you want your investment to pay off. You don't want your investment to dip and then go make somebody else money. That's just not how it works, or not how you want it to work. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about this Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving possibly leaving the Brooklyn Nets. Like, share this video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.